to D'un inconnu à l'autre. Once again, my name is Mick. D'un inconnu à l'autre means from a stranger to another, and this is the title of my podcast because it's all about connecting with strangers or with other people, and why right here, right now, it's more important than ever to connect with everybody. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that today, about connecting with each other or starting a new society, a new world will require a lot of trust in yourself first, in others, because we will have to work all together, and also trust in life itself, because life has to play a big role about it. So welcome to my now bilingual podcast, actually. And if you want to just subscribe to my YouTube channel, just click subscribe. It's Machiavemic, Machiavemick, and it's michaelbaudard.com for some. Pretty much everything is in French anyway, so if you stick on YouTube, I won't be bad at you. And also today's episode, I won't show a lot of visual effects or graphics or whatever. It's going to be my voice and my voice only. You have my image here if you want to look at me, but you can put that in your background and listen to my voice for that podcast. And also I'm on Spotify, Apple podcast, Google, etc. Not right now, I'm not live, but it's going to be there by tomorrow. So why did I want to talk about trust today? It's first, I've been talking about a lot about knowing yourself lately, and connecting, because once you know yourself and you can make your inner light shine, you can connect with everybody, and we really, really have to connect everybody together to create that world that we want to live in. Because if we don't do that, we let the government or other people creating it for us, and you are really responsible for the life you want to create. So that's why I'm talking about that. It's the only way we can work it out during that chaos anyway. It's either they make decision for you or you make your own decisions, and we can do it ourselves actually. Yeah. Knowing yourself, acting by yourself, and embracing your own free will. That's the most important things. And of course, it requires a lot of courage. Um, we can ask ourselves, what if it doesn't go like I want, or what if I have some repercussion from the authorities, or what if my rights are already gone and it's too late. The thing is, if the situation is getting worse right now, or will get worse, we'll have to figure out a way at one point to say, okay, I don't accept what's going on in my life right now. I have to change it, and not just with the crisis we live right here anyway, but it's about everything in your life. If you don't control or make your own decisions and trust what's going on, you will feel controlled by life and by what's happening in your life. You are strong enough to take the power, to take the control back, and say, my life is going that way. But for that, you need to trust. And trusting is part of the exam. If you want some answer to cheat at the exam, you need to know that trusting it's hard, because it says in the concept of trusting, it says that we have to trust without any proof. Even trusting in yourself will it needs a lot of courage, and but that's the exam. Then I'm pretty sure you can do it. And trust comes in a circle of faith, as I call it. We have to put a decent amount of trust in ourselves first, because if you don't trust yourself, you cannot trust the others, or trust life for what it is. Trusting others, it's really tough, because we all lived some problems with other people. If someone like betrayed us or something like that, it's kind of hard to trust, and we've been raised in that society where we've been told not to trust people. And trusting life itself, we have to believe in that magic that's happening, because there is, and I swear I'm not saying that in vain or whatever, there is a divine power, a greater power that is working upon us right now. And if you put your free will and your desire in a for a common good, for the best of everybody, of others, and for life itself. Life is gonna make her way, and she's gonna work to take care of you. If you take care of her, she will take care of you as well. Our job is to take care of our own life, of course, and act with our heart. We have to work for the best interest of everybody, but once we do that, you have all the others that will care for you and life itself. And when you have life itself on your side, you're really good for a good treat. But it takes a lot of courage, and it's a leap of faith, to say, okay, I'm doing it. I'm gonna trust. And it's tough, but trust is rewarding for yourself, for the others, and for everybody. And it's the engine that makes the community work together. It's either we forfeit all the decisions in our life to give it to other people and say, okay, I'm gonna be your prisoner, but you can decide everything, so I won't have to think about that. Or you take control of your life and you do it. So I love you all, and let's get started with that topic here. Let's go here. Yeah, because it's kind of the logical following of what's going on right now. Either we can decide not to trust and continue to believe in the government, or we can decide to trust again. And when we don't trust, when you don't trust yourself, or you don't trust the others, or you don't trust life, it's pretty tough to take the control of what you want to do in your life. And when you don't trust, you give the right to everybody to everybody else to make decisions in your life. You give that trust, because that trust has to go to somebody. We're social beings, and we need to give that trust to other people. So if you don't give it to people around you, if you don't give that trust to um, you will have to give it to the government, and the government will take care of yourself. If you don't trust yourself to get your own water, you can just ask the government, and the government is gonna give you water and electricity and everything. But it comes with other measures that they comes with, and they will put everything in a package deal. If you don't agree with the measures or something, at some point they will take away some comfort, and it's going to be harder and harder to you will have to trust yourself at one point. You know what I mean? It takes a lot of strength, and it's not, confidence. It's not a thing that we can hold in our hand. It's not tangible. It's not, oh, there you go. This is my confidence. I give it to you. No, it's something that comes without any proofs, without any explanation. It's just kind of a social contract that, okay, if you don't betray me, I don't betray you, or I hope I'm not gonna betray myself, or I hope that life's not gonna betray me, or that karma's not gonna betray me. So it's kind of a question of betrayal all the time. But at the same time, if you are in a relationship, or when you, I don't know, trust your mom, or you trust your best friend for doing that, or whatever, it's such a beautiful feeling to share that trust. So that's why it's so important. And in a community where we all have to work for each other, we have to find back that trust, to be able to work everybody together, to get energize pretty much everything. It's the only way we can evolve in the right direction, actually, trusting. It If we expect a harmonious future, or where everybody is get along pretty well, where we can make our own choices, the paradise, the nirvana, whatever you want to call it, if you seek for that future, we will have to trust at one place. So and we cannot say, oh, I'm gonna trust at that point. If we create that society, I will trust, but right now I cannot trust everybody. We have to do it right now. We have to set an example right now, to be able to build the trust, because trust is something you can build too. And if we don't do that, we kind of staying at the same place. We kind of paralyze at the same place, and we don't go forward, because not trusting will stop us at one point. So it's like when when you're about to cross the road, and the government is telling you, oh, but you need me to hold. I want to hold your hand before that because you're not allowed to cross the road if I'm not there. You know, like our parents did or whatever. The thing is that we're becoming adults right now, and what if you can cross the road? You know, I mean, what if you can look? You're smart enough to look on both sides, and you're like, oh, it looks good. I'm gonna cross the road by myself, and the government is still there. No, 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 no. You have to wait for me to cross the road. You know, either you trust yourself and you're like, okay, I'm going to do it, or you trust somebody else and you say, oh, you want to come with me just to see what's on the other side, or you trust life and say, oh, like everybody will fit, like all the drivers, they will look. If I'm there, I will look too. Everybody's going to be okay around, whatever. So we can trust everything and not wait for the government to hold our hands to cross the road. Um, the thing with confidence is that yeah, confidence require to trust without proof. If there's proof, there's no confidence. You know, there is, of course, but you have to trust beyond proofs to really build a beautiful confidence. uh, and in the life we live right now, we've been taught that, you know, that we cannot trust nobody. That I can't stop to say the same example over and over again, but it's a crazy hitchhiker. You know, we think that if you hitchhike, you're gonna be killed by a crazy person that pick up hitchhikers to kill them. I don't know. And if you want to stop for a hitchhiker, the hitchhiker will necessarily be a killer as well. So you cannot trust nobody. This is how we're told, and this is a little bit the myth that I tend to that I try to destruct in my book, actually, where I check pretty much all the time. But we have to find that to find back that emotion, that feeling that yes, I can trust people because people are good, they're gods, and they're goods inside, and life is good itself, and nothing. If I think like that, and if I want to give my best to everybody, nothing bad is gonna affect me because life is working good on me. And this is where we have to go, you know. We have to put fear aside, and a little bit like you gotta abandon yourself a little bit, abandon your ego, let's say, and say and know that you're strong and that you won't die for nothing, or nothing bad's gonna happen. You still have to be smart and to analyze the risks and not be stupid. That's why you have to trust yourself first, but still there's a greater power that works upon us, and it's divine, and it's for the best of every single human being that want to work with that power. And you know what? I've been saying that, but I'm gonna repeat it too. You know all the problems that you lived in your life, and some maybe you lived a lot of deep, bad things, let's say, and you're there, you're watching or listening to me right now, and you are ready to live more problems too, and you are ready to be even stronger because you are already strong. You are already a god or goddess, and you can do it, you know. So I know sometimes some situation they can be scary a little bit, but at the same time you can just put that fear and that ego aside and say, you know what, I'm gonna do it because I trust myself. um so, and this is the thing, you know, about trusting it. There's some chance that we fail of trusting, or there's a betrayal happening, you know. It's the game when you trust someone. But if you don't trust, you might encounter more problems than when you trust, you know. Just first you gotta trust yourself, and you know, trusting yourself. Wayne Gretzky, the hockey player, was saying that if you don't try, you will never, or if you don't shoot, you will never score a goal. And that's the thing. If you don't try, if you stop yourself and you think you're not good enough or whatever, it's sure that you won't achieve something. You at least have to try. And in that situation we live right now, where the government is trying to reshape the world in a way that maybe you don't agree with. It's either you try or you let everything go the way the way they want. And at least you could have said, at least you can say, I have tried. Even if you fail, it's either try to keep your own control, or giving the control to another entity. And you're the only one who can manifest and create in your life. So at least trying to control your life, it is the best decision. And this is the thing too, is like when we give the control to other people, like to government or Bill Gates or whatever is happening in the world right now, we don't know the integrity of those people. You don't know if they have integrity or not, or what is their motivations. And it's not because the media keep repeating that they're good, that they're necessarily good. You don't know them, and that you know yourself, you know everybody that surrounds you, you know life pretty well. I will bet on those all the things than betting on the easy way and give the control to some people that are first billionaire, and they don't like to care about what's going on, except for making more money. So confidence, it's the engine of the society anyway, and in the society or the community won't work with those people because they're not even in our life. Confidence will energize the whole system, the whole community. And if you stop yourself, you cannot even trust other people and life itself. It's like playing basketball. It's not just if you don't shoot, but if I've been playing basketball for a while, and it's the kind of sport where more you have confidence in what you can do, more you can put the ball in the basket. I mean, more your confidence in your shooting, more you're gonna be successful at shooting it. So it's kind of the same thing for the whole life. Finally, it's more you trust yourself, more you're gonna achieve something. And we already talked about ego on one or two last videos, so you can check that, just to be confident about your talents, but not brag about it and not be mean about it, but put your talents to bring everybody together and create a better world. And you know what you can bring to the table when you make a team with other people. What you can bring to the table for yourself, for the others, and for life itself. When you know that, you can have a confidence, and it's all start with a confidence in yourself, to trust yourself first. So I'm going to talk a little bit about trusting yourself first. Let's say, when we try to put trust in the game, usually when we want to trust somebody else, you kind of expect that the other will trust you too. It's kind of an exchange. We share trust, or we exchange trust. But when we're talking about trusting yourself, we're talking about there's no exchange of trust per se. It's you with yourself. So all that thing that you don't control, how the other person will trust you, it's not there when you trust yourself. It's just you with you. um, so you can trust yourself, and you're gonna be the big master of all your actions, for sure. And it should be from itself. It should be like normal to say that I control all my actions because I trust myself. You know what? And we talked about this when we talked about guilt, and when we talked about other things. Failing is so normal, and it's a necessity to learn. It's you have to fail to learn. So even if you trust yourself, if you fail, it's not a reason to stop trusting yourself. It's the opposite. Failing means getting better. So more you fail, more you should trust yourself, and not the opposite. But sometimes we think that failing, we're not good enough. And this is also something we've been taught to believe, is that we're not good enough. We got to stick to just one discipline and stick, and the government will do everything for us. But it's not true. You can learn a lot of things, you can try, and there's always many solutions to our problems. And you can work if that solution doesn't work out for you. The other solution will be better maybe, but failing doesn't mean that you should not have tried. It's the opposite. You learn, you get better, and you can build your trust that way. And if you put your ego aside anyway, and you can show that you failed, and this started to work with me actually when I started to show that I was failing at this, at that, to everybody was starting to show me how they failed at this or at that too, because we can share our experiences. And when we don't have the ego when we're not ashamed of failing, other people are not too, and we become to work all together. So this is a bit about trusting yourself, and when you can show your flaws, because you know what you're worth. Everybody make mistakes, everybody fails, but everybody has talents and passions too, and it's a good balance. So if you want to show your strength, you can also show your flaws, and the opposite way too. And this is the way we can know each other's and know other people too. But confidence can come with betrayal for sure. It's kind of impossible to betray yourself. You can kind of betray yourself if you don't listen to yourself, if you don't trust yourself at all for nothing, or if you paralyze before making a decision or waiting for an action, and then you wait for someone else to do for you or for the government. Now you can talk about betraying yourself, but if you try, even if you fail, you don't betray yourself. The best mindset you can have when you do that, it's to focus on doing things with your heart, but also to focus on the greater good, and to the greater good for your neighbor, for everybody you love, and also for life itself. And what is really dangerous with stopping ourselves, with not trusting ourselves, is that if we want that best life, that best society, we cannot achieve it if you don't trust yourself first, because that community will rely on you, and on everybody else too, and on life itself. But we would have all a part to play, so you have to trust yourself, um, because it's kind of a big challenge that we're living right now in the society, and it's a big exam. And the exam is to realize that you can trust yourself, that I can trust myself, and to create our own choice, to create our own life. And this is the time to realize it, to be able to create that society where we want the perfect society. We have to realize that we have to trust. We cannot build that without trusting. So how can I trust my body, my mind, and my spirit? You know, um, you can ask yourself, can I trust my body? Can I trust my immune system? Can I trust am I healthy? Can I trust the way I move, the way I run, and my healing capacities, etc.? You can know your body and ask yourself, can I trust my body? If the answer is no, you can work on your body to achieve that trust, to say, okay, I know my body better. I know that my left knee, it's a little bit weaker. I will have, you can know yourself and trust your body. You can also trust your mind. Can I trust my head? Can I trust my mind? Can I trust myself to understand what's going on in the world? Can I trust myself to go see some informations online, or from the medias, and discern what is a lie, what is true? Can I trust my mind to really understand the situation? Can I trust also my own values, my own integrity? Can I trust that too? So if you can trust your body, your mind, then you can ask yourself, can I trust my own spirit? Can I trust my intuition? Because there's a big part of our energy that you can feel it, and everybody can feel it too. It's called the intuition. It is real. It exists first. And you can ask, and you can develop your intuitions. You got to trust your heart, trust your feeling, and say, if you don't feel something, just don't do it. So can I trust my intuition? Can I trust what can I bring to the table? Am I open to receive things? Is my mind and my energy is open to learn and to receive things? And am I ready to be in a spirit of peace and harmony with everybody? So all those questions you can ask yourself just to know if you're ready, or what you can work on yourself to achieve that state of being where you can create your own world in your life. Because it and I'm gonna repeat those questions real fast. Can I trust my body? Can I trust my mind? And can I trust my spirit? And like I said in another episode, your emotional body is a balance of those three: body, mind, spirit. So it comes with, can I trust my emotions? But if you have a good balance in your life with those three parts, you will be able to trust your emotion. And without that confidence in yourself, it's really hard to have confidence in other people. When someone betray you, you have to understand that it's not because they don't love you, or they don't like you, or they don't care. It's because they don't trust themselves, so they cannot be trustworthy, because you cannot be trustworthy if even yourself, you don't trust yourself. You know what I mean? So trusting other people. When you trust yourself, you can ask yourself, how can I trust um, other people? And it's kind of a tough one, because trusting, we all been betrayed in our life, in a minor situations, major situation. I don't know your life, but we had to learn betrayal, of course, like in everybody has to learn betrayal. But also, we live in a weird world where trusting someone is now useless. You don't need to trust nobody, because you don't even you don't even need to know your neighbor, because you know what, your neighbor won't bring you nothing. As long as you have the government in like behind you, you're good. And also, why would you trust? Why would you trust? Because you cannot have proof. So this is the mindset we're kind of raised in, and it's a little bit weird, because in all of history, relying on each other, on we're social beings. Our goal in life, in our, I don't know, epistemology, I would say, it's to be social with everybody. It's to create bond and work and create society. This is what the difference between human and animals. So it wouldn't make sense that we kind of trust each other, but we lost that trust. Like I said, it's the crazy hitchhiker story, where either you hitchhike or you pick up a hitchhiker, you gonna be murdered, or you're the murderer. So there's always a murderer, even if there's the most beautiful story that I ever heard are hitchhiking story. And this is why, in my book, this is really a topic that it's really important to me, because it's kind of the basic of what I do. In my book here, it's in French, so I'm not here to sell it in English for sure. But it talks about this. 3 years ago, I decided to hitchhike Canada, the old country, and I really wanted to write about that deep down inside of ourselves. We are there to connect with each other, to help each other, and to love each other. And this is what I did for 2 months and a half. I was living with my backpack. I was living with, yeah, and that's it, my backpack, and that's it. And there was a beautiful story. I just have love story, and harmony story, and peace story in that. A lot of mistakes, but still, I wanted to go against that popular view where we cannot trust everybody, because I think it's wrong. And even if we don't agree, and especially in those times like today, even if we don't agree, that doesn't mean we cannot trust each other. Like the people thinks that if I and maybe it's general what I'm saying, but if I talk against the mask, let's say, I'm gonna endanger everybody around, and but at the same time, it's not because I can talk against that, then necessarily I'm gonna not follow the rules or whatever. There's a difference between having a smart conversation and coughing other people's mouth. You know what I mean? And I don't want to go in that topics if what's happening is true or not. I'm just saying that we should be able to talk and to trust each other and to know that everything is to know that we can trust everybody actually, you know. And this is the thing, like I said the one or two videos before, I said that there's no great leader that will tell that would put the blame on a part of the population. You know, if you do that, you're not a great leader. This is what they do. And even on the other side, I saw a video in French also in a wake group that they were saying it's because of the people who believe. Everybody, it's just, even if you think you're awake or not, if you blame other people, you don't understand that trust issues that we have, and we have to fix that trust issues. We know that everybody is smart, is brilliant, you know. And we know that everybody, there's no sheep or there's no conspiracy theorists. It's not a thing. We're all human being and we all try to figure out life right now. But some people, we have all different backgrounds, so it push us to think differently, everybody together. And this is what we can a little bit disagree about things, but still, like I said, it's not because we disagree that we have to think that someone wants to harm us, because nobody wants to harm nobody willingly in that kind of hysteria that we're living right now. It's not a thing. We just try to figure out life like we try to, like we want, but nobody wants to harm nobody, or nobody wants people to get sick or whatever. And everybody wants to be in control of their own life, you know. And it's kind of scary times, so it makes sense. And the medias on top of that, you know, they've been talking about bad news for pretty much a century now. So we cannot trust the other world. We have to stay inside, and especially in lockdown right now, but we have to stay inside and not talk to our neighbor, because there is bad news all over the world now. There's explosions, wars, accident, hitchhikers, whatever. And this is what the medias are saying, like it's been forever. And even if we talk about the coronavirus right now, you know, we have to be scared of everybody. We have to follow the rule, but nobody talked about your own ability to heal and to be healthy. You know, nobody said that you should exercise. Nobody said that you should eat well. Nobody gave tips about eating well, whatever. And on top of that, we putting a lot of ads of McDonald's and Coke and whatever. And this is not, so you still have to trust the establishment, and that makes you sick. That, I know it's not great food, you know, but you have to not trust your neighbor and everybody that want to harm you, quote unquote. But we can, and this is where they don't do that. We can have a civilized discussion about it. You know, everybody is smart enough to keep their calm and talk about things, and especially in the medias, and not just fighting against and obeying the rule. It doesn't even make sense to me. We should be able to talk about it and to have an open discussion, even when they say, and we have in New Brunswick, we have a great MLA, great quote unquote, that always saying that oh, it's science, people are against science, it's a fact, you are against facts. But you never cite the science or the facts. If you're just saying, oh, it's against science, but wait, but tell me what science you're talking about, please. I'm open to talk about it. But I know they won't talk about those things. They rather, I'm still talking about the medias right now, but they rather diminish people. They have to approve your sources, approve what you say, diminish the people they don't agree with. You're not smart enough, you're too naive, people can have a control on you, you cannot make your decision by yourself, they won't let you do it. And this all discussion that all around fear, you know, they talk about fear, and we have to follow the rules or we're gonna die. We censor a lot of discussions because these discussions are not allowed. It's everybody's fault all the time, but not the government or not the, it's just the people's fault. In New Brunswick, it is the first argument that I hear all the time. Oh, it's because people, they don't obey the rules. That's why we have cases. But just give me a proof that the spread is it got something with the people not obeying rules. There's no studies, there's no science about that. It's just we assume that to create fear against, to divide people, and we have to make it work so we can find back the trust we have from one person to another, from a stranger to another. And because this is what we do, we're destroying the confidence that we have for each other. And when we don't trust each other and we don't even know we can trust ourselves, we just give the control to the government that we don't know, and okay, you can deal with my life now. And this is not how we should do. You can trust yourself, and you can trust me. You can trust. And I'm gonna comment a little bit more at what happens when you encounter people you can't trust. But right now, just to finish with the medias, I'm gonna say something that it's a little bit heavy, but I really mean it. The relationship we have with the medias right now, it's like if we're a man or a woman who is beaten, or abusively violent relationship, whatever. We know that it's been years that they're abusive, they're lying for a lot of things. They're really they're making their own versions of the news all the time. And I'm saying that for before COVID or whatever, we knew that there was something that sensationalist and money was so involved in the medias. We knew it's been a while that we know that. But if someone tells something bad against my media, I'm gonna be the first one to defend it. And then I'm gonna come back to my media and I'm gonna believe a little bit more into all the promises. And this is kind of the relationship, that we have with the media and with the government too. We know that we cannot trust them, but when someone attack my media or my government, I'm gonna go back and say, no, I love you. And this is what we live right now. I studied in communication and politics actually, and this is my degree was really about the communication in politics. So the communication they were in the media about politics or whatever. And the thing is, after my degree, I stopped voting because I found that politics was so phony, so not true. Like I was seeing some journalists in elections, some journalists asking some question to the politician, and that was all just softballs. And I was like, why aren't they um, asking the real question, that or this? But no, it's always a softball. It's always like they act like all the promises are going to happen, and we know that the promises in elections are just stupid or nothing. But all the journalists, even if they're the pro in that, they're gonna act like everything is true. And that's kind of a weird relationship we have because we know it's like a wrestling game. We know that it's fake, but we still get involved with that process. But at one point, it takes just one step that is too much, where we can say, wait a minute, I think I'm gonna really stop believing in that. If you think that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide, uh, I mean, everybody knows that it might not be true, let's say, but all the medias are still it's still the main versions, the main narrative. Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide, and you're like, okay, should I trust that or not? Or again, when they were about to legalize weed in Canada and in Quebec, that was furious. Everybody was furious, and they said that it would be so dangerous, and people will do psychos, and they will have a lot of car accident and whatever. And finally, they did. Now it's okay, even if in Quebec it's not the most thriving weed province in Canada. But at the same time, they did nothing happened first, nothing bad happened, but also they did it so poorly that, I don't even know how I think they don't even make money on that, but the containers, they do nothing with hemp. So on both sides, it just went really, really weird. But it was such a good plan that gave the elections to Justin Trudeau. So there's a lot of things in the media that we know more and more, and with that awakening, with that crisis, we know more and more that we cannot maybe trust the government. And everybody has a different relationship with confidence itself, with trust. It's kind of tough because when we encounter someone, when we act with someone, let's say, when we meet someone, we kind of we all always work with confidence. Either we teach confidence to someone, or we receive confidence, and we learn from to act with our confidence. So if you have integrity, and it's tough, with money involved and with work or whatever, but if you have integrity, right there you show to someone and you teach to someone that trusting is possible. And it's possible, and everybody trusts in their life. Everybody are betrayed at one point, but still it hurts, but it doesn't mean you should stop trusting, for sure. We all have individual choice to make, and that choice start with trust. If everybody trusts everybody and everybody mean it, and nobody wants to betray nobody, we have a good start, actually, if we do that. And it's gonna start with every single one of you, and with me too. But it start there if you want to create a better world. Either that, and it's the choice. Either that, or we give the control to somebody else. Are you willing to trust? If you don't want to lose that control, this is a question I am asking you right now. So everybody is a teacher of trust in our life. Mothers, lovers, friends. Um, and if we're betrayed, our relationship with confidence it's not the same anymore. We kind of we're scared to trust again. And like I said, every lessons that you learn in life, and maybe you're tired of me repeating that, one video after that, after the other, but every lessons in life are about forgiving and accepting. Forgiving is the only solution to someone who break your trust, because forgiving is not about healing the other, but it's about healing yourself. It's not because someone betray you that everybody will betray you. And if you forgive, you feel better, you forget the pain you have, and but you remember that you got to be careful. You cannot trust everybody like all the time for no reason. You have to trust your mind, and be able to know your reflection process, to know how you think, and say, okay, I can trust that person. That other person, I still love that person, but I don't feel it. I'm going to put it a little bit further in my life, let's say. So you choose your surrounding, you choose the people you can trust, and you build your own world with that. So after forgiving the person who betrayed you, you can choose not to trust that person anymore. And you can also choose to trust somebody else too, and give 100% of your confidence, because at one point we're gonna be able to all to trust each other and to talk. Sometimes we just think differently and we don't talk, and we do an actions, and it hurts another person. But at the same time, if we just talk and we open to any situation, we can really build beautiful relationships and trust each other. And this is the perfect future. If you want to aim for the perfect future, we have to trust each other. It's not even an option. We have to trust each other. Like in my book, and I lived it for 2 months and a half. I was trusting pretty much everybody. I was still really like smart enough to analyze every situation, but still I did it and it worked. So the question you can ask yourself concerning each other is, can I trust my physical world with that person? Our surrounding, what's happening in our life? Can I trust other people else? Can I trust all his habits, all his flaws, his can I trust all his actions in society? Because it's kind of a social contract we have, huh? Trusting with someone, especially when we try to make a community. We have to have that social contract. When I'm gonna take care of the wood, you're gonna take care of the food, or you know what I mean. We have to work together, but it's doable. And if it's all about surviving, we have to anyway. And we don't ask ourselves if the situation we're living right now it's true or not, or if we should believe or not. I think we all made our decision right now, and we have to empower our own actions to be better and to create the world we want, because we all creators. Can I trust someone else's mind? Uh, is my neighbor smart enough to understand my point of view? Is he open enough to talk about it? Is he smart enough that he won't snitch me, or he won't tell on me if I do this or that? And can we have that social contract all together, me and my neighbor, or in society, from one person to the other, to say let's just be cool with each other and let's live together. And can I trust the other person's instinct? Can I trust his spirit? Can I trust the connection that I have with the other? Do I have bad feelings about this or about that? Can I talk about it? Um, do we both have the need to help each other, to share, to love each other? Do we have that needs of socializing? Do we have that urge of fighting? We have to ask those questions to ourselves to really embody that trust that we have for somebody else, even someone we don't know. In everything that I just said, we just have to understand that trust is not a list of expectations that we have for somebody else. It's not okay, I'm gonna trust that person if he gives me that he brings that. No, it's just a invisible contract between two people that say, hey, you know what? I respect you. Do you want to respect me? And if we really aim for just a greater good, we're gonna do great. And that's it. We don't have to hang out together and to share the same point of view on everything. We just have to care about life, about each other, and about life, and it's doable. And this is what we need to do, and that's why that thought that we can just endanger everybody for no reason all the time, it's a cancer for the society, because it's so not true. And this is how we're gonna lose everything, by not trusting each other. Trust is one of the most important thing we should have in our life. And this trust relationship there, when it's really like everybody hang on to it, it's so soft, it feels so good. um, because betraying each other confidence is just a proof that you don't trust yourself. um, but if you trust yourself first, you can just it's just you trust yourself so much that you can take a part of the trust you have for yourself and give it to the other, because even if you're betrayed, you can work everything out by yourself anyway. But putting that two trust together, it makes a beautiful result. That's what brings me to talking about trusting life itself. Trusting life, it's more about, it's a little bit tough, because it's like believing in magic, or believing in God or something. But believing is something that is invisible. But I think in 2020, especially, believing in something invisible is it's something a bit more easier. But at the same time, it's also we're there. It's part of the exam. It's the next exam, let's say. I have talked about it in my other show. But the first, it was to awaken our mind with all the informations. We're at the part where we have to awaken our power of choices and our trust. And the next one is going to be to awaken our spirit and know that we're part of a whole. We're part of a whole world, that we're all connected all together, because we're just one. So that's the 3 step. We are at the power of a choice right now. But we have to choose to open the other exam. We have to choose to believe in something that you don't see. And it's possible. That's tough because a lot of time, but at the same time, I say it's tough, but when it happens, we're kind of okay. I believe that something's going on in my life because sometimes we can think that we have the impression that life itself is going against us. So if we think like this, we have to believe that life itself has a divine power over us, either negative or positive. And especially after childhood, after being in our 20s or something, or in the beginning of our 20s, we kind of realize that life is not like they told us, you know. It's not like magical. You won't achieve everything you want in your life. You're not invincible, blah 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 blah. We realize that, and it's kind of tough, and we think life is a little bit against us, huh? Because we think uh, like kids that life is going to protect us, but at the same time we cannot tell life how she's gonna be and think that she's gonna give us everything. It's not something, but still, we were still right when we were young kids. Life can be on our side for sure, and we have to acknowledge that. Because we realized in our early 20s that when we ask for things, it doesn't mean we're gonna receive them. We want to believe that every human being is good, but every time we apply for a job to be famous something or big something, work in a bank or whatever, we realize that, you know, those business people, they don't really care about us. You know, they don't. This is not, and this is the thing. You know, we think that the people who the big organizations, they care about us, and we think that normal people from they don't care, but it's kind of the opposite, you know. If you call to for your phone bill to Bell or whatever, and you try to make the people understand that you really need a little break for paying or whatever, they won't understand because it's the company, you know. It's not the person itself, and the person won't jeopardize his job for that. But still, you know, so we think that everybody will make our way, and finally it doesn't happen like this, and we're like, okay, life is against me. But it's just because we don't understand life like it is really. I realize, and I start my book with that actually, that having a relationship with life, it's like having a relationship with a woman, for me, or with a man for you, whatever. So I gotta recognize and tell her that she's beautiful every day. First rule, and that I trust her, and that and trust. It's all about trust, and I trust her, and I should not control her. You know, it's like a relationship with someone. You trust that person in your relationship, and you don't want to control that person. You want that person to work in your team, to work with, to care about you. And this is how you should let life play a role. She has a role to play in her life. You have to take care of yourself, and her role is to bring the opportunity and to show you the way where to go, you know. And you, it's a little bit like in the Tao Te Ching. In the Taoism, they say that you have to stay in the center of your circle, and you don't have to reach out of your circle. You just stay there, and you just wait to see what enter your circle, and if something fits you, you grab it, but don't go out of your circle. And life's job is to bring things in your circle. So if you take care of yourself, and you're acting and thinking for the greater good, for the good of everybody, service to other, life is gonna bring everything, or karma, or God, or call it the way you want. Is gonna bring you everything in your life to continue and to bring you what you need to evolve. This is the way you should take, or we should take life as it is, you know, and trust life. It's not about life should bring that in my life or not. If you focus on something, life is going to bring something that look like you want, maybe not exactly what you want, and it's your duty, and it's not a good decision or a bad decision, but it's your duty to take the opportunity or not. If you don't take it, there's another opportunity that's going to come, if it's the way you need to choose. But life's job is to bring the opportunity in your life, and if you trust her, she will do it, you know. She will bring you whatever you want, and you take the opportunity when you can. So it works. And this is where you try to control her, that she's gonna try to be against you, and she's gonna say no, I'm it's like I said, you're in a relationship and you try to control your girlfriend or your boyfriend. They're gonna start to act like they care less about you and less about you, because you don't understand that you should not control them. Same thing with life. And she will make you notice that you don't take care of her, and that you don't even say that she's beautiful anymore, and sometimes she's gonna slap you in the face telling you that, you don't say I'm beautiful anymore. What the hell? So it's like having a relationship. We have to take care of life for life to bring the opportunity in our life too. And we grow old, or we grow in life, and we've been taught to think um, that we need a lot of things. We want what life didn't bring us. Instead of being grateful of what life brings in our life, we've been taught that we should have objectives, and we should have desires, and we should think about everything that life is not bringing in our life. Like when I'm in a relationship, if my girlfriend gives me a gift, the best way to react would not be, oh, you didn't give me that. Oh, I wanted that. It's, oh, I'm grateful for what you gave me. Same thing with life. You got to be grateful, but we've been raised by wanting more and wanting more. So it makes sense that our essence is a little bit like this. But we have to go past that, beyond that. And we have so many like useless needs, and we accuse life for not receiving those useless things, and I have an analogy. It's not a beautiful analogy, but still it's to make my point. Have you ever thought about how many different soaps you have in your house? Okay, you have your body soap, your face soap, your hair, your dishes, the dishes machine, the clothes, we have so many soaps that we forget that we have infinite good water. That's crazy. And I'm not saying that having a lot of soap is bad. I'm saying that we have to be grateful just for the water that life is giving us, and not for not having missing some shampoo that day or whatever. We have so many different kind of soaps. Is it necessary? I'm not there to argue, but we have to be grateful that we just have water, because nature and life wants to give you everything. An apple tree doesn't just give one apple or few apples. It gives an infinity of apples, because all those little seeds make apple tree that will make apples, that will make seeds, etc. Life is made like this. It's abundant. It's gonna give you everything if you're open for her to give you everything, and if you let her give you everything without trying to tell her what to give you. And it's in the Tao teaching, they also said that it's where a vase is empty that you can fill it. So you can just empty your mind by meditation or something like that, yoga or whatever, and just enjoy the present moment and let life fill your vase. And this is a beautiful feeling, because life will bring you. And I had that question from my friends last time. She said, how can we be confident that we have kids? What will happen with our life if it's going that way or that way? And this is my answer is like, if you really fill your heart with love and with light, and you trust life and you trust yourself and others, life is going to bring you where you need to be, and it's going to keep you safe. And this is the real meaning of faith, and I really believe in it. Really, really, it's all about trust. So we have to just enjoy the present moment and let life bring what she has to bring, instead of try to realize what she doesn't bring. And we don't need a lot of things to be good in life. We need clothes, we need food and water. We need maybe a roof on the top of our head, if we and love. What do we need more? Do we need? It's pretty much it. So and we need to live and learn. Life is all about living and learning. This is the two main goals of life, and we can do it. So it's all about being in harmony with life itself, without expecting, and with loving and working hard, of course, having beautiful intention, facing life, and working, like holding hands with life, and say, I'm my job. I'm gonna keep myself smart and strong and happy, or I'm gonna take care of myself, and life's gonna bring me some opportunity and it's gonna guide me where I need to go. I'm still making my own choices, but life's gonna give me all the options that I need to see to guide me through life. And I say that pretty much every video, but uh, life is not bringing you what you want, but it's going to bring you what you need, and the development of the soul just goes in one direction. It's the only thing that doesn't have any opposite in life, the growing of the soul. And it goes just in a positive way. You're just growing to be better and better, and fighting against life, it's not you cannot go backward or something. It's just that karma is going to hit you more and more until you find your way. But it's like being in a river and try to if you want to control life, it's like being in a river and try to swim in the opposite direction from the current. You can try, and you can swim hard, and you can be good at swimming hard like this, but one way or another you're going to be tired. You won't move a lot, forward for sure. And yeah, the question I have for you is, are you courageous enough to just let the current guide you? Because this is the trust we have to do in life, and life will take care of you for sure. And it will take less effort, and you're gonna feel bliss and blessings. So how can you trust life? What question you can ask yourself to trust life? um, can I trust life with my physics? Is my energy, my spirituality good enough? My electromagnetic field, my relationship with my planets, with the moon, with the sun, with the seasons, with my relationship with everything that is surrounding me. Can I trust that? Second question, can I trust my mind? Can I trust life to help me mentally for that? Can life bring me what I need mentally? Can life bring me aware to be aware of the sign, the symbols, to the answer of my prayers? Is life able to set me up at the center of my zone, the center of my circle, and make me wait a little bit for what I need to see, or present me what I need in my circle to evolve? And can what is my relationship between my spirit, my soul, and life? So um, it, is life able to bring me what I need to? It's a legit question. Is it true? Is life able to bring me what I need to evolve? What is my quest, my sovereign quest in life? What is my soul is supposed to do? Can I trust that divine power who can help me to evolve? And when you ask yourself those questions, you have your answer anyway, because you still start to trust. If you ask that question, you still start to trust. And it's all about challenges, and if you think you fail on a challenge, you can get up and start again. We can just it's all about learning, and we're here to learn. If we had nothing to learn, it's not about achieving, it's all about learning. And sometimes we need to fail to learn, but when you learn, you achieve. This is because we're here to learn, to live and learn. And it's our reactions, that tells everything, not just for ourselves, others, but facing life itself, our relationship with life individually, in community, and with life itself. that will really set up the following of what's going on right now in the world. It is trusting ourselves, each other's, and life itself, that relationship, that circle of faith that will set up how the world's going to be in a few months, maybe a year. We need to trust each other. So can you imagine a life where you can trust yourself because you know yourself, and you can even, you know yourself so good and you trust yourself so good that you can even trust everybody, and you choose your surrounding, and you see your surrounding waking up a little bit more and more. Can you imagine that? And you trust so much those little, your surrounding, and yourself, that even your attitude through life brings life to give you what you need. And you live the present moment, and you just are something, and you know that if it's not today, it's going to be tomorrow, that life's going to give you an opportunity to thrive even better, and you are grateful for what life gives you. Can you imagine that? The ball is in your hand right now, and you have to decide, are we ready to trust? Are we ready to trust each other, to trust yourself, and to trust life? Because I'm going to repeat it again, we need that so much to create a better world. We cannot create a perfect world if we don't trust each other. We have to hang along well together. We have to start to act correctly, to act for greater good individually, in community, and with life, because it is the only way we can get away from either that corona frenzy, or the government power trip, or I don't know. The only solution in both way is to trust each other and to work all together, and start to or stop to put the blame on each other. And I say beautiful awakening out there. It's been a while now. It's been almost a year, and I'm so proud of every single one of you. I love you so much. Now we know where we're going with everything. We know that we have to mentally change individually first to work on ourselves. And I ask you to watch my other videos if you want to learn a little bit more about working on yourself and how we're going to change through the transformation. But we have to reprogram correctly our brain, because we've been falsely programmed for so long now. And it's a guarantee. I guarantee you, it's sure that it is the answer of the one of the biggest exam of humanity, and that answer is trust. We have to trust each other. If we think we cannot trust each other, we're doomed to be either controlled or to disappear. We have to trust each other, and this is how we're gonna all wake up all together. Of course, it's time to wake up. First, mentally, we did it. Physically, with the power of our choices and our trust. And spiritually, it is the big evolutions, and we're gonna do it together, everybody together, all as one. But because you know what? Because we are one. I love you guys. I would finish by saying, be ready, be strong, and be informed, because it's coming to our door right now. And if you want to talk, I'm always there for you. See you next time. I love you guys.